A very warm welcome to everyone who has joined the meeting today. This side it's Abhishek Sawant and I'll be presenting today's workshop for version number 25.22. During the presentation, if you have any questions or any queries, you can post it in the comment section, which we will address at the end of the session. Also, a kind request to all: please keep yourself muted so that we can have a smooth going session. So let's begin with our today's session. So we will start with first module, that is the sales module. Okay. So cost estimation enhancement is the first point. So there was a scenario in cost estimation. The system typically picks the material and process item based on the bill of material defined in the masters. However, users requested a feature to handle cases where some items can be either purchased or manufactured. They wanted the system to provide the flexibility to estimate the cost accordingly, depending on the sourcing choice. So let me brief you about the purpose of the cost estimation first, and then we will see the actual changes we did in this version. So the actual purpose of this cost estimation is to help users to calculate the total cost of making an item using the bill of material, process layout, and the additional cost heads depending on the masters. This gives a clear estimate before quoting or accepting an order, enabling better pricing decisions. Earlier, once a BOM and the process layout were set for an item, the system always treated that item as a manufactured item. Even if the sales team wanted to purchase it, still the system added or considered that item as the manufacturing, due to which it also considered the manufacturing cost. So there was no option to skip those manufacturing costs. So now, as you can see over my screen, so as I have defined bill of material and the process layout in the masters, and then in the item master, we have a flag named non-manufactured. If you mark an item as non-manufactured, the system will ignore the bill of material and the process layout for that specific line item in the cost estimation sheet. It will treat that item as purchasable item, though you have defined the BOM and the process layout. This gives users the flexibility to include or skip manufacturing cost based on need. So as you can see on my screen, once I mark that item as non-manufactured, system is now considering the manufacturing item as the purchasable, and same cost that the purchase cost will get considered in this session. So benefit in this feature is there is no need to delete the bill of material and the process layout defined in the master. Moving to the next point, that is the customer wise sales target enhancement. There was a scenario where the provision to set sales target for customer, but no option to set sales target categorized by sales category. So earlier it was only limited to the customer. So now we have introduced one additional layer by introducing the sales category in it. So as you can see, under the master, there is an option of customer wise sales target, over which you can define the actual target for that specific customer. But there was no option to categorize the target based on the sales category. So now we have introduced an option to sales to add or to give the breakup of sales category, and based on the sales category breakup you can set the target for the complete financial year. This will helps to keep track progress for each sales category separately, easily compare target versus actual performance. So there is one report as well through which you will come to know the actual progress of the target. So as you can see, I have applied one filter of customer. So based on customer, system is showing me the actual achieved order value and the invoice value along with it with its weightage. Similarly, we have one another report. If you apply any of the filter, if you apply sales category filter, then system will show you the complete detailed list of category wise target versus actual result. So this is how you can able to track your complete progress for that financial year. Moving to the next feature, that is the sales order import provision. Previously, OurSys did not have any option to import multiple sales order. Users too had to create individual sales order manually, although there was a provision to import item details and the quantities. Now, we have introduced one link under the sales module where user can easily upload the master data, so sales order data, open sales order in the system. Users only need to ensure the master to be created first and it should match exactly with the formatted Excel sheet. This will save the time of sales team member for a bulk data upload in the system in one single go. Moving to the next feature, that is another announcement where we have renamed our reports. As you can see on my screen, we have renamed our reports. All the reports mentioned over the screen are the part of sales transaction. So we have mentioned the previous name and the current name, which is going to apply for this upcoming for this current version. Moving to the next slide, that is purchase. So in purchase, the first point is the requisition detail report announcement. The updated purchase requisition reports detail now includes the approval information featuring the approval name and the approval dates. This enhancement allows user to access critical information in a single report, eliminating the need to search for approval details separately in the system. Moving to the next point, that is the drawing set along with the supplier RFQ, that is the request for quote. It is the part of purchase module only, purchase transaction. So as you can see over my screen, earlier sharing drawing files with supplier involved manual file management and risk errors. Now we have improved the process by including a hyperlink to the drawing file in the RFQ emails within the system using item master uploads. So once you upload the drawing file in the item master, then the hyperlink will get appeared in your RFQ email, which can be accessible by your supplier. So there is no need to store separate drawing files at your desktop. Moving to the next point, that is the ASN uploads shown in the GRN and the supplier invoice. So first let me tell you the explain you the purpose of the ASN. So ASN stand for the advance shipment notice, where is a notification sent to the buyer or a consignee before the delivery of goods, providing detailed information typically like shipment details and the product information. Based on the advance shipment notice, the GRN gets booked in the system, which is usually done once the material reaches your premises. So now in this version we have introduced ASN uploads. So now uploaded ASN file are visible on the GRN screen, enabling the seamless documentation within the system. Suppliers can attach essential documents like test certificate, invoices, and more while sending the materials. So there is no need to follow any of the suppliers for those documentation. Next point is related to the stores. So we'll begin with our store part. So under stores that we have introduced one new stock report. So previously there was no consolidated stock report. Users had to check the separate reports to view a stock in different stages, such as incoming inspection, which is the part of purchase transaction, then the available stock, WIP stock, that is the material issued for the production, and the issued stock for the invoicing. This made it difficult and time consuming to get a complete picture of overall stock status in one single report. So now we have introduced one new consolidated stock report under the store module that combines all key stock stages into single unified report, including the stock in hand, under inspection, that is the quality part, WIP, that is the material issued to the production, under dispatch, which are material issued but not yet dispatched, and at the supplier end, if in case the material is at your supplier end, that is the outsource. So all those summarized report you will get under this one single report, that is the consolidated stock report. We have introduced another similar report with value as well. So if in case you want to give access to the users based on the value with and without value reports, then you can able to achieve through this report. Then the next feature, that is the WIP stock report for the past data. This is most important report in order to have a value of WIP report. Scenario was user had requested the ability to view WIP stock and its valuation for year-end reporting purpose. However, in OurSys, the WIP report was only available for the current date, which meant users couldn't access historical or as on date WIP stock data. For example, if user needed the WIP report as of 31st March 25 and the current date, let's say that is a date of 18th of June, so it was not accessible before. But now we have introduced a generate function in the WIP stock report. As you can see over my screen, there is an option of generate as on date WIP valuation that captures and stores the WIP data for the selected date. You can also schedule the WIP report generation for the future date as well, based on the defined frequency and the time. Important note over here in this feature is this feature is only available after the version is released at your end. And the second important point, it will not work retroactively for the past data unless the WIP report was already generated on those dates. If you wish to use this feature by scheduling in masters, then you can put a service in the service portal where you can mention the date, frequency, and the time, so that we can help you with the schedule. Next is our quick outsourcing scrap generation. So earlier, when scrap was received from the outsource process, the system only updated the outsource report, not the actual scrap stock. Users had to manually enter the same scrap again using the scrap by product recovery general, which is available under the store module. This meant duplicate data entry for a single scrap transaction. There was also a risk of missing one of the entries, leading to confusion or incorrect reporting. Now, the solution over here is, we now when users make an entry using the receiving of scrap from a job work supplier link which is available under the outsource, the system automatically updates this scrap stock, so there is no need to post a separate general entry. This will help to eliminate duplicate data entry, prevent errors or missing entries, and ensure accurate and real-time scrap updates. Then one more link we have introduced. Now users may have access to open new job orders if in case users only if admin wants to give access to the user just to open or to close that job order, then it is possible using this link. So we have separated the open and the close link in two different form. So administrator can assign specific access to the individual users. And there is an enhancement in the WIP valuation report where we have improved the processing speed for faster and more efficient analysis in the WIP valuation report. Moving to the next module, that is the production. So the material issue report and the MRN detail report is enhanced. So there was a scenario in the previous version, OurSys introduced MRN attribute, but these attributes were not displayed in any of the reports for the further analysis. So now in the material request note, in the previous version, we already have introduced the attribute part, but this we were not capturing anywhere in the material issue report. So now in this version, we have introduced filter of attribute in the material issue search edit, and also you can have the MRN attribute details in your material issue report. This empowers users to conduct more precise analysis based on their requirement. Then the next point under production, that is the real-time daily production capturing enhancement. So in the latest version, we have made two key improvements. First one is the performance enhancement. So we have optimized the backend logic and data fetch mechanism. And the second point, that is introduce a new sales order filter in the job order, in the job order list. Users can now quickly locate job order related to specific sales order, making it easier to track the progress of production against customers' order. One more enhancement we have done in the material requirement planning, that is the MRP, which is nothing but your PPC. So we have improved the processing speed for the current MRP. So now it will speed up your process, and also it will work in more efficient way.
कौन दे रहा हेलो मोहित सर सुरेश सुरेश आपसे ये हो रहा है कि एक वर्कशॉप चल रहा है लेकिन सुरेश आपको कनेक्ट कर रहा है यस यस यस
Now,
यस
moving to the next point, that is the
लास्ट वीक होगा एक्चुअली
invoice module. Earlier, customer with retail type businesses requested a more efficient process as it is not feasible for them to create a sales order every time before generating the sales invoices. So now, under invoice module, there is one link called invoice direct. OurSys ERP now supports the direct creation of sales invoice without a sales order, which means this new feature skips the sales order step, allowing user to generate sales invoice quickly and efficiently. It is especially useful for a walk-in customers, POS counter, that is the point of sales, or high frequency retail transaction. Then the IRN details updation option we have introduced in this version. So while generating IRN in the system, that is the e-invoice part, system sends invoice data to the government e-invoice portal. In return, the portal responds with IRN details which get updated in our CRP. However, due to internet issue or portal unavailability, sometimes the IRN is generated on the portal but not updated in the system. This causes delays and manual follow-ups to synchronize the IRN. Now, to address this issue, we have introduced a new option, that is the update IRN button, through which if the IRN was generated on the portal but failed to update in OurSys ERP, then users can now manually fetch and update the IRN details by simply clicking on update IRN button. So there is no need to regenerate the invoice or contact support for missing IRNs. It will reduce dependency and avoid operational delays during dispatches or billing. Now moving to the accounts. So under accounts, OurSys has now introduced a company location filter for the P&L statement and the balance sheet. As you can see over my screen, OurSys it is possible to generate consolidated financial report across all location, or can view location wise profit and loss statement and the balance sheet separately. Then the most awaited feature, that is the GSTR1 posting to GST portal via API integration. Previously, user had to manually extract GSTR1 data from OurSys first, and then they have to format it in the Excel as per the government format data, and then upload it to the GST portal. So it takes too much time to process with this, to deal with this GSTR1 posting. So now in this version, ERP, OurSys ERP now support direct GSTR1 submission to the GST portal via API integration. So under taxation, we have introduced this link where users can now post GSTR1 data directly from the system on a single click without logging into the GST portal manually. The integration ensures secure, accurate, and real-time submission of written data. So if anyone is interested in this feature, then you can contact us by registering the service at our end so that our team can help you further. Moving to the HR part, HR module. So now we have introduced one new dashboard called as upcoming leaves of employees. Here Previously, when team members applied for leaves in advance, their colleagues were not aware of other upcoming leaves, causing delays in dependent activities. To address this, we have introduced one dashboard that provides visibility into all upcoming leaves, ensuring that team members can plan accordingly. So, as you can see, you can have a month wise and the week wise upcoming leaves on the dashboard. Then the again HR, there is one more feature in HR, that is the EPF and ESIC calculation. So now we have introduced EPF template and ESIC template as per employee. So previously EPF and ESIC rules applied uniformly to all employees. However, if a specific changes was needed for an individual employees, it was not possible before. Now, we have introduced the ability to create customization templates and assign them to employee as needed, allowing for more flexibility and precision in managing employee benefits. Then the next part is the design. So under design, previously OurSys did not support printing the bill of material for the sales order. However, this functionality has now been added and is available to the users. So as you can see, our SYS has a provision now in sales order bill of material where you can display the entire BOM hierarchy from parent to subcomponents in a single view, simplifying verification and the confirmation. Then the next part is the item code builder. In item code builder, the item code builder has been significantly improved to make item creation more accurate in the following manner. So I'll explain you one by one that what changes we have done till now in the item code builder. So first one is the auto serialization. Users can now configure the system to automatically append serial number at the end of item codes, enabling quick and standardized code generation. So you can set the number of digit in the item code builder template, and you can also enable the flag of serialization if in case you want to have a auto serialization number. Along with that, we have introduced few more flags in the item code builder, that is the selective parameter code exclusion. So a new option enables users to exclude specific parameter code or the description from the item code structure, allowing for more flexibility when certain codes or the description are only required for the reference purposes but not for the item code. So as you can see, there is one flag name as to be considered in item code and to be considered in item description. So using these two flags, you can have a reference in the item code builder, but it won't be the part of your item code and the description in the item master. Also, we have another flag that is the dependent on. The system now displays parameter values based on dependency from previous selected parameter. This ensure logical consistency and eliminates irrelevant or conflicting options during item creation. The same we have introduced the Excel provision. So if in case you want to if you want to add more parameters in the item code builder, then now it is possible through an Excel. So you can simply download the Excel format from the ERP, and then you just have to upload it in the system. so that it will save more time while creating the template. Also, we have given a shortcut provision in the item master where the item code builder template is now integrated directly within the item master screen. Users can create item code without navigating to separate module. The next part is the validation of duplicate item short description. So previously, while creating an item master, system validated the duplicate item codes but not the short description. To address this issue, we have introduced a validation flag that checks for duplicate short description by default, ensuring data consistency and preventing duplication. Moving to the next module, that is the masters. So we have introduced tool attribute master. With the tool attribute master, you can define custom fields that appears in the tool masters, ensuring that required information is captured. This field can be tailored to a specific input type such as drop down, text form, date form, and more, providing flexibility and precision in data collection. Next feature is the WhatsApp integration feature. OurSys new WhatsApp feature enables seamless communication with customer and suppliers. So there are some key highlights, that is the document type setup master. So as you can see, document type setup master where you have to configure the master setup, that is the mobile number through which the message is going to send to your customer or the supplier, and the API related part. Here you can also set your own template for the default message. So based on the document type, you can set template for the WhatsApp messages under this master. Also, we have done some correction. We have introduced some fields in the country master, that is the country code and the number of digits. So based on these three masters, system will allow you to send WhatsApp messages to your customer and the supplier. So this feature streamlines communication, saving time and effort while enhancing business efficiency. This feature is the add-on, and if in case you are interested in this feature, then you can put a service in this support so that we can come to you and we can help to integrate this feature at your end. Then amendment rights in the transaction can be set in the user access management. Earlier, amendment initiation was open to data entry level users as well. We have now restricted this functionality by introducing a flag in user access management, ensuring that only authorized users can initiate amendments. Next point is the dashboard view module, where you can group your dashboard based on the axis. So as you can see, there is one icon on your right hand side. By clicking on this icon, system will group by all your dashboards as per the modules. Also, we have shown the information in tooltip as well, just by hovering your mouse on those dots. which will let you know the name of that module. And one more important feature, that is the transaction wise upload feature. So transaction wise upload ensures that required documents are attached at the relevant stage, reducing the likelihood of incomplete activities due to missed document upload. So for example, if you want to make any restrictions in the transaction, so let's say if we talk about the incoming inspection, which is a part of purchase, and if you want to restrict to the users to upload the TC documents or any other documents in the system without further process, then you can set up this master at your end. So after doing this setup, system will allow and system will make those document mandatory. So as you can see over my screen, one link will get appeared on your screen, which is the part of transaction wise upload feature. So without any document uploads, you cannot proceed with that specific individual document.